Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Two Gods Summoned to a Fantasy World by BenGrem1234. Chapter 5. The Burning Town. The next day, Rimuru, Chloe and Princess Kanade were at the main gate of the Kingdom of Spades preparing to leave. They were being bid farewell by King Edward, Queen Sakura, Prince Shu and some other citizens and nobles. "Well, I guess we'll be leaving now," Rimuru told the crowd of people who were there to see them off. "My lord, I know you said that you will be protecting this kingdom from danger, but how will you do that if you leave?" King Edward asked. "I'm always watching this kingdom no matter where I am. I am a god, remember," Rimuru told him. "And I can detect the slightest bit of hostility in this kingdom. So don't worry, cause we'll know if you need any help that requires our attention," Chloe told them. "I see. That is reassuring to hear," King Edward sighed with relief. "Oh dear me, Edward. You always worry too much. We should be bidding our daughter farewell on her journey, not worrying," Queen Sakura told Edward. "I guess you are right, dear." King Edward turned to Princess Kanade. "I know that you will face some hardship on this part you have chosen, but I want you to be careful and safe." "Don't worry, father. I will make you proud of the daughter you gave birth to," Princess Kanade said to King Edward. They both went and hugged each other as a form of farewell. They separated and smiled to each other. Queen Sakura came up to Princess Kanade. "I don't have much to say to you except that you should be careful. Never challenge anything you know you can't beat." "Don't worry, Mom. I am your daughter, you know," Princess Kanade said to her. "Which is why I'm worried," Queen Sakura said while shaking her head. "What is that supposed to mean?" Princess Kanade said with a deadpanned expression. "Nothing you need to worry about, dear. Now come here," Queen Sakura said as she brought Princess Kanade in for a goodbye hug. After they separated, Princess Kanade turned to her brother Prince Shu and smiled to him. "Protect our kingdom, little brother," Princess Kanade said to him. "You are only older than me with a few hours, you know," Prince Shu said with a sigh. Princess Kanade laughed, "Which is still older in my book." They both smiled at each other and they bid farewell to themselves. "Are you ready to go?" Chloe asked. "Yeah, I'm through. We can leave now," Princess Kanade said as she walked to Rimuru and Chloe. "Oh yeah. Prince Shu, come here for a moment," Rimuru said. "Hi," Prince Shu said as he walked closer to Rimuru. Rimuru stretched out his hand and a huge light gathered in his hand. The ball of light took shape and formed a sword. The sword glowed and radiated power. Rimuru removed his hand from the sword and the sword kept on floating in the air in front of Rimuru and Prince Shu. "This sword's name is Excalibur and it is a sword of promise victory. I give to you this sword for your bravery and courage against the demon Dabura. Take up this sword and use it to protect your kingdom and humanity from anyone who wishes to harm them," Rimuru told him. Prince Shu was at first scared, but he realized the weight of the responsibility on him as the prince of the Spades kingdom. He was weak and he was from the weakest race. In order for humanity to survive in this world, they needed extraordinary power. He as a prince needed power more than ever, in order to protect his people from harm, and this sword was the answer to all his prayers. Without hesitation, Prince Shu took the sword Excalibur in his hand. The sword glowed and a bright light enveloped and covered Prince Shu. Everyone besides Rimuru and Chloe covered their eyes because of how bright the light is. When the light finally died down, everyone looked to see what happened. They all gasped as they saw the new appearance of Prince Shu. Prince Shu was now wearing a shining new white armor which had a blue cape and blue design flowing from his shoulder to his back. The Excalibur he was holding was still radiating power and he looked like a magnetic prince while holding it. Prince Shu admired himself and his new powers for a bit more in happiness. He turned to Rimuru and knelt down. "Our god Rimuru, I vow to use this power you've given me to protect this nation and humanity," he vowed. Rimuru smiled. "Good. That sword is very powerful, so be careful on how you use it before you destroys this kingdom by mistake." "I will be careful," Prince Shu answered Rimuru, then turned to everyone who has been watching them. "Well then, see you all next time." Rimuru, Chloe and Princess Kanade then left the Kingdom of Spades to begin their journey. On the roadside, it has been 3 days since Rimuru, Chloe and Kanade were traveling on the road with no fixed destination in mind. They have left the borders of the Kingdom of Spades and are now in unknown territory. So Kanade, what is the closest kingdom from where we are now? Rimuru asked. Princess Kanade, or as she is now called Kanade, looked at the map she was holding. According to the map, we are no longer in the Kingdom of Spades. We are now close to the Kingdom of Lunor, which is under the rules of vampires. I see. What can you tell us about the vampires of this world? Chloe asked her. Let's see. Kanade put a hand in her chin to think. Vampires are divided into ranks to determine their level of powers. There is the vampire queen, said to be the strongest and oldest of all the vampires. Some rumors says that she once challenged and defeated an evil god before in the past. People say that she can destroy this world with a single wave of her hand if she so chooses. Wow. This vampire queen sounds tough, and you said she was rumored to have defeated a god, so she must be on the level of the gods, Rimuru said. She obviously will be stronger than Luminous if that was the case, Chloe said. Who's Luminous? Kanade asked. She is the vampire queen back in our world. She is very powerful and could destroy a continent in seconds if she wants, Rimuru explained to her. But with how you described the vampire queen from this world, it is safe to say that she is definitely stronger than Luminous, Chloe said. That makes sense, I guess. Back to what I was saying. There is the vampire queen who is the head of all vampires, and under her, there is the elder vampires. There are 8 elder vampires in total, and their strength are said to rival that of the demon generals, Kanade explained. So this elders are that strong, huh? What makes them elders in the first place? Rimuru asked. They are called elder because they are the first and only vampires who were personally turned by the queen. They each control their own region where they rule in the name of their queen, Kanade explained to them. So some of the vampire kingdoms is under one of this elders then? Chloe asked to confirm. No ma'am. A single elder controls a region and not a whole kingdom. This kingdom is being controlled by the queen of vampire, Kanade informed. I get the picture now. So what other ranking are there after an elder? Rimuru asked her. After the elders are the lesser vampires. The lesser vampires are people of different race who were turned into a vampire by an elder or other lesser vampires. They are the commonly seen vampires around the world, Kanade explained. How strong are lesser vampires? Chloe asked. Kanade thought for a moment. It depends on the vampires, but the weakest vampire are 20 times stronger than a human. If it was me of the past, the weakest vampire would have beaten me in a fight had I ever challenged it. Rimuru sighed. And you were supposed to be a prodigy among the humans. The humans of this world sure are weak. Less than that's to be expected, master. Greater than, seal. You've been quiet ever since we came to this world, Rimuru thought. Less than, I apologize, master, but I was watching the history of this world. Greater than. That makes sense. So what can you tell me? Rimuru asked her. Less than the beings in this world are so much stronger than those in our own world. Incidentally, that evil god that Chloe defeated was from this world. Greater than. I figured that part out by myself. How much difference in power will you say the beings of this world are to our own world? Less than this world is divided by a power structure. The gods are the strongest and some of them are on par with Chloe Obel. The two sides of the gods have a single ruler who is the head of all the affairs of the gods on their side. The gods in Celestia is ruled by a queen with the name of Miyuki, who is said to be the strongest god in existence. Based on my analysis, I can say that she is stronger than even Veldanaba, who is said to be the creator of all world before you. The evil gods are ruled by Daiden, who is said to be the only being to ever come close to rivaling a percent of Miyuki's powers. The reason the evil gods have not destroyed this world is because of Miyuki, whom all beings in this world fears. Greater than. Is this Miyuki stronger than I am, seal? Less than, not even close. Master has transcended the very concept of this world. You are a being above and beyond all things in existence. Though, since you are only using your avatar and not your real body, Miyuki will be a match for this avatar you're using at the moment. Greater than. Rimuru smiled in excitement. So someone who can rival the power of this avatar exists in this world? Less than, yes, master. Greater than, then coming to this world is the right choice. Less than your happiness is my joy, master. Greater than. Ah, thank you, seal. Now what about the mortals of this world? Less than the mortals of this world are all very powerful. There are many races in this world and many of them are under the protection of the gods. The demon race, titans, goblins, orcs, lizardfolk, trolls and the undead are all under the protection of the evil gods. The angels, elves, fairies, dryads, mermaids, demi-humans and dwarves are all under the protection of the gods in Celestia. The dragons, vampires and spirits are all independent of the gods' protection. The dragons believe that their race are above the gods. The vampire queen defeated and killed an evil god which turned her into a god. She believes that she is above any gods out there and do not require their assistance. The spirits are neutral and does not wish to participate in any form of conflict with any race greater than. Is they a single ruler in the demon race or are the generals the ruler? Less than the generals are all under the demon king. The name of the demon king is Eisen and in terms of power, he is as strong as Guy Crimson greater than. Then he is pretty powerful. Between him and the vampire queen, who is stronger? Less than the vampire queen is stronger by a huge margin. The vampire queen is a god while the demon king is not greater than. Who would you say is stronger between the vampire queen and Chloe? Rimuru had to know in order to plan ahead. Less than they are about equal in power, but Chloe has the advantage because she is the god of time. With Chloe Obel's control of time, she should win after a long battle greater than. Thanks for informing me about this thing's seal. I will definitely be prepared in the future. Rimuru opened his eyes to see that only a few seconds has passed since he started discussing with Seal. This is due to Rimuru increasing his perception speed to 1,000,000,000 time which allowed him the time to talk to Seal for a while in his mind while only a second has passed in the real world. Chloe turned and looked at Rimuru. Seems you are done researching. Yeah, and I've found out a lot about this world. Hold on, I will pass the information to you. Rimuru's eyes glowed for seconds before returning to normal. Chloe closed her eyes for a few seconds before opening them. This world is bigger than I imagined. I thought I was strong, but it seems that many beings who could face me exist in this world. Should be fun. I know, right? To think that I would find a rival in this world. I'm so excited, Rimuru said with joy. Forgive me, Master Rimuru and Lady Chloe, but what are you two talking about? Kanade asked them. Nothing you should worry about. We were just, Rimuru tried to say, but stopped suddenly. His face turned serious as he looked ahead. What wrong, Master Rimuru? Kanade asked after seeing his face. Something is not right. We need to hurry right now, Rimuru said as he began to run ahead. Kanade turned to Chloe. Do you know what's wrong? I sense a great despair coming from below this hill. We have to hurry, Chloe said as she too ran after Rimuru. Kanade had no choice than to chase after the two as they ran to the hill. Once they reached the hill, they stopped because of the horror they were seeing. A small human town was set ablaze with so many people burning to death. Many houses were burning and many people were screaming. A group of people wearing black were all laughing as they burnt the small town and all its people to ashes with their powers. Rimuru, Chloe and Kanade could not believe what they were seeing. This was beyond cruel. This was plain evil. Rimuru began to run down the hill at a fast pace. We need to hurry and save any survivors. Chloe and Kanade speed up to catch him as the RUSED to help the small town from this disaster.